Greetings, I'm Brother Judah from the Congregation of Israel, a representative of the NMP, the Nazarene Messianic Party. We are an organization that deals with the Bible from a social political perspective. We argue that the Hebrew Bible is a revolutionary catechism of a 12 tribal confederacy of escaped slaves out of imperial Egypt. They began to perform an experiment that was socialist, and its trajectory is to lead into communism. The Hebrew Bible teaches the abolition of all forms of oppression and the eradication of gender inequality and ethnic inequality. In our classes, we attempt to prove this by synthesizing the Hebrew Bible with social science and history of world struggles and revolutionaries. Today, we are going to look into the writing of Vladimir Lenin from Pravda, March 4th, 1920, published Women and Communism, Lawrence and Wishart, London, 1950, transcribed by Sally Ryan. V.I. Lenin on International Women's Day. We will begin the reading and let's see what Lenin had to say about gender liberation. It reads, capitalism combines formal equality with economic and consequently social inequality. This is one of the principal distinguishing features of capitalism, one that is mendaciously screened by the supporters of the bourgeois, the liberals, and that is not understood by the petty bourgeois Democrats. Out of this distinguishing feature of capitalism, by the way, the necessity arises while fighting resolutely for economic equality, openly to recognize capitalist inequality, and under certain conditions, even to include this open recognition of inequality as a basis for the proletarian state organization, the Soviet Constitution. But capitalism cannot be consistent, even with regard to formal equality, equality before the law, quote, equality, unquote, between the well-fed and the hungry, between the property owner and the propertyless. And one of the most flagrant manifestations of this inconsistency is the inferior position of women compared with man. Not a single bourgeois state, not even the most progressive Republican Democratic state, has brought about complete equality of rights. But the Soviet Republic of Russia promptly wiped out, without any exception, every trace of inequality in the legal status of women and secured her complete equality in its laws. It is said that the level of culture is best characterized by the legal status of women. There is a grain of profound truth in this saying. From this point of view, only the dictatorship of the proletariat, only the socialist state could achieve and did achieve a higher level of culture. Therefore, the foundation and consolidation of the first Soviet Republic, and alongside and in connection with this, the Communist International inevitably lends a new, unparalleled, powerful impetus to the working women's movement. For when we speak of those who, under capitalism, were directly or indirectly, wholly or partially oppressed, it is precisely the Soviet system and the Soviet system only that secures democracy. This is clearly demonstrated by the position of the working class and the poor peasants. It is clearly demonstrated by the position of women. But the Soviet system represents the final decisive conflict for the abolition of classes, for economic and social equality, for us, democracy, even democracy for those who were oppressed under capitalism, including democracy for the oppressed sex, is inadequate. The working women's movement has for its objective the fight for the economic and social and not merely formal equality of women. The main task is to draw the women into socially productive labor, extricate them from domestic slavery, free them of their stultifying and humiliating resignation to the perpetual and exclusive atmosphere of the kitchen and nursery. It is a long struggle requiring a radical remaking, both of social technique and of customs. But this struggle will end with the complete triumph of communism. That is the reading, Women and Marxism, Lenin Index, Lenin Works Archive on International Women's Day, March 4th, 1920. And this argument is also seen in the Holy Scriptures. The 12 Tribal Confederacy was, the 12 Tribe Confederacy was establishing a socialist system, a state under Moses, the legislator. And their campaign was to go into the land of Canaan. Canaan, AKA the merchants, and the imperialist city-states were to be removed so the experiment of socialism could take root. After this experiment of socialism was to take root, its trajectory was to lead into a communist society. Within this communist society, it is to eradicate ethnic divide and gender divide. The organizer of the Nazarene movement, and the Nazarene movement, we make mention of the Christ or the Messiah of the Hebrews, the movement towards this trajectory. The Apostle Saul was an organizer. And when he went to organize in Galatia, he argued that there was to be eradicated the division of ethnic group and the division of gender. So what we will do, again, we invite you to the classes, and hopefully that you can learn from the readings. And in classes, in our classes, we synthesize it and bring it together so people can understand the revolutionary nature of the Hebrew Bible or the Holy Scriptures. With that, we will conclude with our reading for today, and Most High willing, we will meet again. And I would like to say peace to all of you who are sincerely searching for liberation and truth.